Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of Games I Speak. I'm Geo.
And I'm Josie.
And today we're back here in the faux studio. But we're going to have
Where
a real...
we don't actually eat pho.
Yeah, we don't...
Or make pho.
Yeah, I meant it as F-A-U-X.
I know.
Yeah. So I do have some good news. I'm going to move soon, and I'm going to have a dedicated space for the show.
Good.
So right now, you can't really see it, but we're in my living room, dining room area. They're kind of the same.
Desperate measures.
Yeah. And when people come over, I can't really film here. And that's why you see me, it's a bedroom back there. You see me in that white background sometimes.
Yeah, the closet.
Yeah, and there's not good lighting. So what I'm going to do is when I move, I'm going to set up a dedicated table that's always going to be ready to go for filming. I'm not going to have to do any setup. And then I'm going to install studio lights in the ceiling.
It's going to be better for you.
Yeah. And
brighter for me.
It's going to be brighter.
I hope you have good air conditioning.
Should be.
We're going to be like sweating.
I
know. The gaming news is real hot.
Yeah. And then I'm going to set up some soundproofing on the walls and stuff like that. So it's going to be... It's gonna be an improvement, a big upgrade. And then of course I get to decorate the walls how I see fit, which is awesome. Because I know it looks like I'm in a dedicated gaming room, but it's really a corner in the wall.
Yeah,
it's not really anything. So, all right. So let's
don't give away all the secrets.
Yeah. Let's and you know what? I had an awesome idea. What if I set up a 3D camera? And allowed people to view the show as a spectator sitting next to us.
Just go to the next step. Just do VR camera. And we'll do VR cameras on each of us so that they can go ahead and take our point of view and they can see how we see everything.
No, I don't have that kind of resources.
I'm just saying. That's the next logical step.
It would, actually, the 3D cameras, they do work in VR. So if I get the right one... But there's different ones. There's like 180-degree ones. And then there's ones that have two cameras back to back. And it simulates.
360
So, yeah,
degree.
It's like two 180 cameras.
Well, I was just kidding.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, that was kind of what I was thinking. But I was thinking like, as in, they're a third person in the podcast.
Oh, okay.
And so they would be sitting next to you on the other
spectator,
side. Yeah.
Just like creepily looking at us.
Yeah. Yeah, but they could look at you as you're talking, and they could look at me directly.
Oh, that's
instead
horrific.
of looking through the camera.
I wouldn't want to put people through that punishment.
Yeah, I know. We're not the best looking guys.
No.
All right. So let's hit off.
This is all the magic of camera.
I know. And this camera isn't even that good. So let's hit up the first story. All right. So the State of Play recently came out. Now, you said you weren't even interested in watching it, right?
I was not.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just didn't think that they would, like, after the disappointment that was E3, I just didn't think that they would really show anything that I was truly interested in.
Okay.
Because they weren't going to really unveil anything. I thought they were going to primarily focus on Deathloop, which, granted, I am already interested in, and I've already pre-ordered it.
Okay.
So I'm already sold on Deathloop. I don't need to see so much more of a game that I'm already sold on. It's the games that I don't know enough about that I'm like, I want more from.
Yes. No, I agree. I think they're kind of saturating things with Deathloop.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little they're rehashing the same details over and over again with Deathloop, and it's like, okay, bro, we get it. The game looks cool. Just leave some suspense, like From Software does. You know.
Another YouTuber I enjoy, I think it was RGT85.
Yeah.
He was like, I've seen enough video of this that I feel like I've already played the game.
Yeah. You don't want to like exhaust people like that. Yeah. So all right. So the first one is Moss Book 2. Now,
wasn't this originally a VR game?
Yes. Yeah, this is a VR game. Did you play the original?
I did not.
Okay. So I'm just gonna kind of go over the details here real quick. It's a VR game. It's an action adventure game. You're this little mouse, and you're kind of like a hero, and you're going and doing all these like epic
definitely has
things.
that red wall kind of feeling.
Yeah. the original game was rated very high, like 80% from critics and players. So it's a good game. So this is going to release on PlayStation VR, but here's the thing. I don't know the details of like, is this going to release on the current VR platform? Like, are they going to allow you to just play it now with the current VR platform? Or are they going to wait till they release the new VR platform? So that's what I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's...
they didn't specify?
I don't think so, because I watched the whole trailer, and at the end, I didn't see...
And there wasn't even a release date?
No, I didn't see a release. At least I didn't. If I'm wrong, someone can let us know. But so that's my question. Is this going to be backwards compatible with the old VR, or is this going to be like, no, this is only exclusive to the new VR set? So,
well, that's a good question. Actually, I'm wondering,
because I don't know what new functionality they're going to add.
Well, that's the thing. I'm wondering if it's going to be like so robust that you're not capable of cross compatibility.
Yeah.
Because the PlayStation 4 VR is still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, granted, the headset itself, I have the 2.0 version that came with Skyrim. And yeah, it doesn't look as clear and crisp.
Yeah. Especially
considering, all the other VR alternatives out there, but the price point is legit, at least for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I kind of hope that they do bring it out. Funny enough, I kind of hope that they do bring out a version that is powerful and that is very next generation. But at the same time, there's a piece of me that's like, do I really want to buy another VR headset?
Yeah, because you're not big into the VR games.
The last VR game I bought was Ace Combat 7, and even then that was like Ace Combat. Like, it has a few specific missions that are in VR. The entire game isn't in VR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see if it's backwards compatible with the original VR. But who knows? Maybe they would decide like, yeah, this game's done. We don't want to wait, so we're just going to make a version that runs on both. So we'll see.
True, but maybe the reality of the situation is that there is no PS5 VR yet, and the install base isn't even close to what we have on PS4. So I think leaning into cross-gen is probably a good bet.
Yeah,
a safe bet.
Yeah. And most of the titles in this state of play are backwards compatible because I feel like the developers, they just don't want to wait. You know what I mean?
There's just not enough PS5s.
Yeah, there's not enough PS5s. It's a bad business decision for Sony has to push the next gen.
Yeah.
And that's why people criticize Sony. It's not the developers are going to do what's best for them business-wise.
But I mean, even then, it's not even Sony's complete fault.
There's
a
chip
supply
issue
that is taking its toll on everything.
Yeah. So let's go back here. Let me close this. This is annoying me. Okay. So the next one is Arcadegeddon. This is a third-person team-based shooter inspired by Fortnite. I mean, you can clearly see that when you look at the gameplay.
Word.
It releases... Well, it's already out on early access, and it's on Epic Games Store and PS5.
Have you tried it out?
No, and I'll tell you why in a second. It's selling for $19.99 right now.
Okay.
And so here's my take on this game. I think that the genre that it's trying to enter is too saturated, and there's free versions of games. So this game, while it takes a spin on like bringing in classic arcade style mechanics into a game like Fortnite, it's just not enough for me to be interested in it.
Fair.
So that's why I'm not interested. That's why I'm not going to get it. Now, if it's like becomes this huge phenomenon where people are like, this game's awesome, blah, 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 and I just misread it, yeah, I would be open to try it, but I need to see more, and I need to see people playing it.
Sure.
So, yeah, at this point, I'm not interested in it. So, next up, Tribes of Midgar Midgard. So this is billed as a top-down third-person survival action RPG with team play. It releases July 27th, so very soon, and the base game sells for $19.99. So, what's my opinion on this? Well, I didn't see any crafting or any mechanics that are popular in survival games. I didn't see any of that. All I saw was like a more like kind of like third person dungeon crawler type game. Yeah, Diablo-esque gameplay. And I don't like the fact that it's gonna have season passes. That turned me off immediately. Because I was just like, I don't have the bandwidth or the money to play a game that focuses on another game that focuses on season passes.
Like games as a service.
Yeah, and if I want a game that's a Norse mythology survival game, I already have one. It's called Valheim. And I've put over 100 hours into that.
You have your own server.
Yeah, so why would I play this game, which doesn't even look like a survival game to me?
Well, I mean, did they, from what you stated, there was nothing about survival in it.
No, it said that
RPG.
at the beginning.
Oh, I thought it was
It said
RPG.
in the beginning when they introduced the game, the lady goes, "This is a survival action RPG," or something like that.
Okay.
So she used the word survival, and I just didn't
you're
see
taking her to task.
Yeah, I didn't see it. So I think, yeah, I'm not sold by what I saw.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm kind of hesitant. I'm much more hesitant to buy games now with season passes than I was before, because the way that they set up unlocking content in those games is very tedious in many aspects. You know what I mean?
Can be.
Yeah.
It definitely does depend on the publisher, because I'd say something like Neo, which I don't think they even had an extra season pass. I could be wrong, but I know the collector's edition of Neo 2, I got the season pass included with the game. And not that it was a deciding factor in my purchasing it. I was going to get the collector's edition regardless. But the season pass it's not about gate locking any kind of new content in terms of like, hey, you can't progress a certain part. It's more about DLC and like having extra story content and doing other things.
Yeah.
So that's a different type of season pass, right?
Yeah, I don't even think those should be called season passes.
Okay.
I think the definition of a season pass
has changed.
Yeah. Well, I think people are just using it, but I think
because they use like a Fire Emblem, Three Houses. They called it a season pass.
Yeah.
And that's the season pass for DLC that's rolling out.
Yeah.
And they have like a kind of amorphous a date line in terms of when they're going to go ahead and release them.
Yeah.
So you're saying the season pass of DLC versus a season pass of like rolling out extra content
constantly. You know what I mean? Trying, like, if you look at a game like Call of Duty, they call those battle passes.
Yes.
But that's more of a season pass. Like, it's geared up for like quarters, right? So this quarter season pass, we're gonna give you this, and this. You have to buy it. You get some free. You get the rest after you buy. But it's perpetual, like a season. Whereas if you have a game and it only has one season pass, well, is that really a season pass or is that just a DLC? Because it's not seasonal. It's not perpetual. It's a one-time thing, right? So, yeah, it's confusing.
Yes.
But I don't think of those as season passes as you would like.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's just the terminology that they're using. I hear you.
But yeah, this game, the way they're saying it is like, no, we're going to keep putting out these passes. They're making it like it is a season pass. So. All right, let's go back. Next up is Fist, forged in Shadow Torch. So this game looks to be an action platformer.
2D. Well,
It's
3D, but in 2D plane.
yes, yeah. So this releases September 7th, cross-gen PS4 and PS5.
This actually looks cool.
It does, but there's a few things. I think it looks interesting.
Mm.
I like the animal designs
Yes.
of the characters. But
Definitely has a lot of attitude.
yeah, the gameplay looked stiff, and I feel it's because they use Unreal Engine.
Mm.
And Unreal Engine,
It's unreal.
yeah, it's hard to make things not stiff in that engine,
Gotcha.
especially when you look at like Mortal Kombat games and stuff like that. They always have this jankiness, right?
Mhm.
But I feel like a lot of games that are made in Unreal Engine, it's just hard to make it fluid, right? Like you would in a 2D engine.
Gotcha.
Also, I thought the environments looked a little stale. I didn't see much like going on in the backgrounds as opposed to other platformers that you see where there's like a whole world back there. But you know, the game isn't that could have been a super early build. You know what I mean?
I think it wasn't unveiled in this thing. There was a trailer before this.
Yeah.
I forget the first time that we saw anything about this.
Yeah.
But yeah. So like, when's the release date though? Because it said release date trailer.
September 7th.
So why do you think it's another build? Why do you think it's another
Because
build?
I never know
this
when
thing
they
is about to come out.
I know, but you never know when they make these
Trailers.
trailers. Yeah, you never know what build they're using. But to be honest, like those are my observations. So I'm like
I highly doubt that it's an early build if the trailer just came out
Yeah.
and the thing is about to release in less than 2 months.
yeah, so maybe their environments aren't going to be
Yeah.
as dynamic as other
It's more of an indie game too, so
Yeah.
you really can't expect it to be, all that jaw dropping.
Yeah, it's not
all
going to
the
be
time.
like Metroid or anything like that. Yeah. But it, like I said, it does look interesting.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I think it looks
yeah.
pretty darn cool.
Yeah. So next up, Hunters Arena Legends. So this is a 30-player battle royale game focused on martial arts inspired combat. It's almost like they took Soul Calibur and turned it into like a 30-player battle royale. So this releases August 3rd for PS4 and PS5. So I hate to be harsh again.
There's a consistency with you.
Yeah, I think it looks boring and uninspired. I think it
looks shallow and pedantic.
Yeah. No, I don't like to use those pretentious words. I like to use very simple descriptive words, hence boring and uninspired. Like, I just don't think it looks interesting. It almost looks like an MMO, the combat system.
It definitely looks like it, and it probably will lean hard into it because
Yeah.
if it's online only, and it just looks like a PvE MMO.
Yeah. So,
Well,
or
actually,
a
I'm sorry.
PvP MMO.
Yeah, sorry, PvP MMO, but also like, isn't it just like a fantasy version of what we've got going on with like something like Fortnite and stuff?
Kind of, except it's very
Minus the building.
Yeah, it's very melee oriented.
Yes, exactly.
So here's the thing: I don't know if that type of MMO like third-person style melee combat will transition to a battle royale game. Like, if you look at WoW, they have battlegrounds, which they did a long time ago, where there's these team-based like capture the flag games.
Yes,
So
you have stuff like that in Final Fantasy as well.
yeah, so that was done by
Final Fantasy
MMOs
14. Yeah.
for a long time, right? They've been doing that a long time. But Battle Royale, the whole, it's a very particular type where the map shrinks and it's last team or last man standing.
Yes.
So that type of combat, which usually is very technical and time consuming. Like it's not easy in those games to just kill someone. Like you have to like strategically use your cooldowns and stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's gonna be one of those things where you can kill people quickly. But battle royale games, you got to be able to kill people quickly because the map is shrinking, and I don't know if the type of combat system is going to lend itself to that type of game. That's just that's just off the top of my head. Maybe it will play well, but I'm just skeptical of what I saw. So that's my analysis.
Fair.
Yeah. So next up we have Sifu. Now this was one of the games that looked very promising to me. So this is a third-person 3D action beat 'em up.
Yep.
And like, if you look at it, it kind of, you know what it made me think of? Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this releases early next year.
Minus the whole open world thing.
Yeah. For PS4 and PS5. So, and it also made me kind of think of like John Wick.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, sorry. So here's my opinion. I think that this game looks like you're playing John Wick or like a cinematic kung fu movie.
Yeah.
It's the combat system looks very dynamic. Everything's cinematic. I love the camera angles. I like the moves that he's doing. I'm very curious to find out what the aging system is, because in the trailer he got older as the fighting continued.
Yes.
But I'm also very curious to see how are they going to do this super cinematic dynamic combat system. You know what I mean? Like
yes.
how, because that seems like it's going to be very technical. So how are they going to accomplish that? That's what I'm curious.
You want to know the moveset?
Yeah. I want to know the combat system. How's the combat system going to play?
As do I.
Yeah.
No, but it looks pretty cool. I'm intrigued, definitely.
Yeah. So this is one of the titles I'm definitely interested in. All right. Jet the Far Shore. So this is an adventure game focused around exploring planets. So this releases this year. They don't give a date for PS4 and PS5. It looks, man. So I'm even more interested in this than Sifu.
Okay.
Yeah. So this game looks to me to be a very carefully crafted sci-fi game that has a very specific narrative about exploring unknown worlds, but in a way that's not aggressive.
What do you mean?
Like in the trailer, there's this guy talking, and he's like,
he's not aggressive.
He's like, we wanted to find a way to explore these worlds where we're not just invading and taking over. They're trying to find their place in the ecosystem. So it's very like non-domineering, you know what I mean, in your way of exploring space. I saw no combat. So it made me think of, okay, this is a game where you have to interact because you're limited on resources. So it doesn't make sense to go to a new world and fight everything if you don't have any resources. You're going to get destroyed. So you have to find a way to integrate into these planets. You know what I'm saying? That's sustainable.
Funny thing is, it sounds a little bit, aside from like maybe the implementation, but the idea is Metroid, where you're constantly like trying to understand the planet that you're currently in, and there's a lot of engaging yourself with the environment and understanding what happened and what's going on with the environment.
Yeah.
You can definitely avoid all of that, but that's part of like its charm is like, ooh, look at all this world building that they've included. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And
It sounds neat.
it does sound neat, and it makes sense. Like if you're part of a civilization that's literally on its last legs, it just doesn't make sense to fight anything. Like your best bet is the path of least resistance, right? You just need to find a planet that is peaceful that you can colonize, pretty much, right? And work with the local life forms. So, yeah, I like that they're so careful in their narrative that it makes me think that it's going to be a very unique gaming experience.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, yeah. All right. And funny enough, it had one of the higher dislike ratios of all the game videos.
Do you know why?
No idea. Because a lot of people in the comments were positive. So
that seems like something worth looking into.
Yeah. So Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hinokami Chronicles. So this is a JRPG based on the hit anime Demon Slayer, which we're both a fan of.
Yes.
It was my favorite anime of all last year.
Yes.
And just recently, it's one of my favorite animes.
Did you watch the Mugen Train movie?
No, not yet. I need to watch it.
It's already on Funimation.
Yeah.
You should watch it. It's awesome.
So this releases October 15th for PS4 and PS5. Now, I already knew about this game because it was announced on Play Asia a while back.
Yes.
But so here's my take on it. First of all, I was originally concerned because I was worried that it was going to be one of those games that was Japan only. And
Demon Slayer is too popular.
I know. But I was worried because I had seen it announced only in Japan months before it was announced for the US market.
Okay.
So I was waiting. I was like, where's the US release? Where's the US release? I kept checking it, and then I saw it open for pre-orders on PlayAsia. And I was like, where's the US release? Where's the US release? And so I was like, holy shit, is this only going to be Japan only?
Yes.
So this is good news. This is a day one for me because I like the anime so much that I just want to, I'm gambling that this is going to be a good game.
Okay. Well, maybe I can help you.
Yeah.
Because this is developed by CyberConnect 2, the same team behind the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games.
Oh, which those are actually good
fun.
games, right?
They're pretty fun. So it's not like I feel like this trailer wasn't that great, unfortunately.
No, it was not. It was not.
But the previous trailers were actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
And they've got definitely the look and feel down of the show.
Yeah.
And they were successful in doing the same thing with the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm series.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, they had like some misstep. I think Strikers was a misstep. But this looks akin to the Ultimate Ninja Storm series.
You mean Shinobi Strikers?
Yes. This looks akin to the Naruto series because it's not, I don't think it's an arena fighter.
No, this looks like an RPG.
Yeah, this looks like it's story based. It's definitely focused on telling the story of Demon Slayer. There's gonna be some PvP in there, but it's not the focus, and that I'm happy about.
Yeah,
and it doesn't look like My Hero 1's Justice, or no, sorry, that was One Punch Man. My Hero Academia.
Yeah,
because the My Hero Academia is an arena fighter, and then there's the One Punch Man fighter, which isn't that great either.
Yeah, so
both of which are Bandai Namco. But
that was actually
but it is hit or miss when it comes to anime or licensed games like this. Yeah. But this one, I think, from the pedigree, it stands to be better than not.
Yeah.
So I hope it is.
Yeah.
And I've also pre-ordered it as well.
Oh, okay. So this is a day one for both of us. I do want to say that the reason why I was hopeful is because, like you said, it's not a Bandai Namco game. It
is a Bandai Namco game.
No, it's Sega.
Oh, pardon.
Yeah. So Bandai Namco has really dropped the ball lately on a lot of these Shonen Jump games that they've been coming out with.
Yeah, like Jump Stars.
Yeah. So I'm more hopeful that this is going to be a good one. And also the fact that you said that the studio
CyberConnect 2
has a good track record with these anime
It's funny because I'm currently playing Ultimate Ninja Storm, the first one, so that I can go ahead.
Isn't that the best one? Or
not that I know of. I don't think
okay.
so. But the thing is, the con that I will say is that these fighting games are relatively simple.
Yes.
They're very simple, and it's to make them as accessible as possible because the anime community is varied, and that makes sense.
And a true anime fighter is very hard.
Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
BlazBlue Chronicles.
Well, Dragon Ball Fighter Z it's the same company, Arc Sys Works.
Yeah, they're very technical games.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in that regard, that could be like a con, but hopefully your love of the license is what kind of like takes it over the top, though, because as long as it's competent and fun, that's really what we want.
Yeah.
It's rare that it'll be like amazing and it takes it over the
Yeah. We definitely want it to just be a solid game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, we're definitely looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up, Lost Judgment. So this is very So this is a beat 'em up spin-off of the Yakuza series, right?
Yes.
And it's a sequel to Judgment, which just got a PS5 version.
Yes.
And it releases September 24th for the PS4 and the PS5. So here's the thing. I haven't played the first Judgment.
Neither have I.
Okay. But it
is part of the Yakuza series. Yeah. Or it's from the Yakuza team, and they make amazing games.
Yeah.
Like, I love the Yakuza series.
Yeah. So this one looks very fun. It has a lot of those quirky mini games in it.
Yes.
And it looks legit. So, but here's my take on it. I want to play the first one first, and then I will consider buying it. But I would say if you're a fan of
it's an easy get.
It's an easy get.
Yeah, because honestly, that team in general has been nothing but consistent.
Yes.
And they've only improved, especially in terms of their storytelling. Like, Judgment was a lot of fun. I hear Like a Dragon is fantastic, but I haven't played it yet.
I haven't played
it
yet.
But it's also a departure from the norm in terms of it being like more of an RPG.
It's more of an RPG, yeah.
But Lost Judgment looks really cool, and you're right. I'm on the same boat in terms of needing to beat Judgment. But the thing is that like I only played for a little bit, and then
so you have it?
Yeah, I own it. I own it on the PlayStation 4. But the thing is that I never beat it. So shouldn't I just get on PlayStation 5? Like, what are the differences?
I would probably just trade it in and get the PS5 version.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. So next up, we have your favorite announcement.
Hell yeah.
So, all right. So this is an adventure, RPG game, survival.
Unlike any other.
Yeah, it fits a lot of genres, actually.
It
it's kind of hard to
in
pin
a lot
down.
of genres, but at the same time, it's very much its own thing.
Yeah. So this is the director's cut. This is going to release September 24th for the PS5. I already know you're a day one person.
Yep.
So let's talk about it. I'll give my opinions, and then you can tell me what you think about it. So we both played the game. We both beat the game. I actually did a review on this channel. You can find it. I think so. First of all, I like the fact that they're adding a bunch of new content for fans of the first one, and also for people who never got around to playing the original one.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say here are my concerns. I like that they're improving the overall graphical quality of the game.
Yes.
But I saw no mention of performance increases. I saw no mention of 60 frames per second. I saw no mention of 4K. What can this thing do if it's going to be in 4K? What can it do in 4K? Because as you know, this game released on the previous generation,
Yes.
and there was a lot of performance issues.
So
The game did not run that smooth, and it's widely known that the PC version is the best technical version of the game.
So I can go ahead and answer those questions
Okay.
because Kojima Productions, the head of publishing, Jay Bohr,
Mhm.
came out with a small video a day or so,
Okay.
maybe, after this reveal.
Yeah.
And he actually answered a lot of those questions. And one of those questions, there's two modes. There's a performance mode and a picture mode, I guess.
Okay.
And so they do have 60 frames per second as well as 4K.
30 frames per second.
Yeah, the 4K one is definitely going to not be at 60 frames per second.
Okay.
So that's why there's two different modes. I apologize, I'm forgetting the name of the other mode. But yeah,
Cinematic mode?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But and a lot of the PC improvements are actually being
Ported to the
being
PS5?
included into the PS5
Okay.
version. Correct.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Very smart.
Yeah, and some of the DLC stuff that they had specific to the PC, like the Cyberpunk stuff, as well as like I think some of the Valve stuff.
Mhm.
Maybe I could be wrong in there.
Okay. So my next question was going to be, what about quality of life improvements? Because there was a lot of complaints, especially by me, in the original where I just didn't want to keep watching the same cutscenes.
They've already patched that out
Okay.
in the
okay.
PS4 version.
Okay.
They've already done that for the PS4 version.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, that's going to be included.
Okay. Awesome. So I think that covers my my concerns.
And the cool thing that's specific to the PlayStation 5, with the haptic feedback on the controllers, there's going to be more resistance when you're walking, which is super cool.
Yeah.
Or doing anything. So like you're going to feel that even more so with the PlayStation 5 and the technology that they have with the controller.
Okay.
So I'm actually pretty excited about that.
Yeah. I feel that since you just answered my concerns, then I'm probably going to get it. So yeah.
And the upgrade isn't breaking the bank, thankfully.
It's a $10 upgrade if you want to just upgrade from the original.
Exactly.
But you're probably just going to get the full version, right?
To support Koji, yeah. Kojima.
Are they coming out with the collector's edition?
I doubt it, actually. I doubt it. Because the thing is that the PlayStation 5 version, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's $49.99. The director's cut.
It's not a full price.
It's not full price. Yeah, it's not $70.
Okay.
Which I think is a smart move.
It's a very smart move.
As much as I love that game, and as much as a lot of the recent remakes of games are going for $70, and I think that this game is worth it. I think in order to get a larger audience, having it aggressively priced like this is smart.
Yeah. So yeah, there you have it. Great job answering those questions.
You're welcome.
I'm sure a lot of people had concerns. So yeah, I think I'm sold.
Yeah. And I do want to add something that Jay Bohr did talk about, because a lot of people were confused. They're like, "Why is this called the director's cut? Didn't Kojima make the game that he wanted to make already?
Yeah.
Like, why is this?" And it's like, no. He said that when it came out on the PS4, that was it, and PC, it saw, whatever improvements, technically speaking. But when the PlayStation 5 came out, they're like, we have some ideas. We have some things that we can add to it.
Because we had to take it out because the PS4's limitations?
No. That's not even it.
Okay.
They just thought, hey, look, we can do this and add to it. Rather than be like, this is stuff that didn't make it because of the cutting room floor. They did what they wanted to do with Death Stranding.
Yeah.
But they're like, we do have more stories we can tell in this world without making a Death Stranding Part 2.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
So in regard to that, I think that's awesome, because unlike maybe you purchasing a game that already has DLC in the pipeline, it's like, okay, well, shoot, like you're already not giving me a complete game, kind of.
Yeah.
In this regard, you've always had the complete game. It's just that, it's a director coming back and being like, I want to add these things. I want to do this thing that is complementary, that is additive to the game.
Yeah.
Like that thing that I didn't like about what they showed was the fragile circuit. I was like, that kind of doesn't make much sense.
Oh,
in the
yeah,
game.
yeah, like a racing circuit.
Yeah, like a racing circuit.
Yeah, that was kind of strange.
Yeah, and I'm not a huge fan of it, but driving in that game is so much fun. Like I loved traversing in the game.
Well, that's what most of the game's about, traversing.
It is.
Like,
it is true.
How you're gonna traverse. Yeah.
So in that regard, I'm just like, okay, well, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
But aside from that, there's new story-based content. There's there's more locations, and there's the graphical upgrade as well as the technical upgrades with the controller. I'm sold.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I think it's really cool.
Okay. I think a more apt title might have been Definitive Edition.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree
instead
because
of
Director's
Director's
Cut
Cut.
does make it sound like
Yeah.
we couldn't do this.
Yeah.
It's like no, they
Yeah.
could have.
Yeah, I think Definitive Edition would have
I
been
think the
better.
biggest issue that I feel, because this is akin to what happened with Final Fantasy VII, is that all the extra content isn't available on PlayStation 4,
Yes.
which is, I feel, is
Yeah.
unfortunate because that's where most of the game's sold. That's where most of
Yeah.
the people have that game. So
Now, here's a question.
I find that kind of sucks.
Are they going to release this on PC also?
They haven't stated, but
Okay.
I can only assume yes.
Yeah, because they have a huge fan base on PC now.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, some of the more hardcore players of this game are on PC. So
Yeah.
it wouldn't make sense to not give them this too.
I agree.
All right, so next up. Actually, you know what? There was one more thing. Deathloop. So
The primary thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna give my okay. So
Your impression?
this is a first-person shooter. All right. It releases September 14th this year. So here's my thing. I think it looks like a very interesting game, right? I like the fact that they're going in a unique direction as far as the core gameplay loop is. It's a very different core gameplay loop than a lot of other first-person shooters.
Yes.
In the fact that you're literally stuck in a loop and you're trying to break it.
Yeah.
But-
It's very roguelike.
Yeah. And so that's going to be how do they incorporate the roguelike elements to not make it too repetitive. So that's my main thing about the game is I'm not completely sold yet. I want to see first how they were making it replayable. Because essentially you're just playing the same loop over and over again. That's the game.
Well,
So how are they going to make it so that you don't get bored if you're having a hard time and you're getting stuck? You know what I mean?
well, here's an example. What is the difference between that premise
Yeah.
and Returnal?
So the difference between Returnal is a third-person shmup.
Well,
Pretty
no,
much.
that's a different. I mean,
They're different genres.
They're both different genres
Yeah.
per se. But I mean,
Yeah.
at the same time,
Which a shmup, it just is that's what a shmup is. You just replay the same levels over and over again. So for me, it makes sense that that's what Returnal is. Whereas a first-person shooter like that, I've never seen that. So that's why I'm like, how are they going to make it
compelling.
Yeah, compelling so that you want to keep hitting your head against the wall and get through it. You know what I mean? So
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I don't know. I see it like a brand new way of, like a genre mashup, if you will.
Yes. Yeah.
And also, I just like Arcane Studios' work. I really enjoyed Dishonored. Beat it twice. I still
Yeah.
need to play Dishonored 2.
Yeah.
But this feels very much like the Dishonored type of gameplay, And I love the art direction of this game. That 1960s, like 70s kind
Yeah.
of look and feel.
Yeah.
I just haven't seen that really done that often here
No.
in video games.
No.
I think the last one was We Happy Few, and that was a completely different genre of game.
Yeah.
But
Even the color palette
yeah,
that they
very
use
cool.
is very unique. Yeah.
So in that regard, I like the studio. I like the gameplay already because it's very much akin to the previous gameplay, and the loop premise seems I don't want to say original, but
Yeah.
definitely more unique than what we've seen recently.
Yes.
So that's why I'm like pretty darn excited for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I can see why you'd be turned off by it. But I mean, it looks like they've got 8 different, if I recall correctly, 8 different bosses.
Yes. Yeah.
Then that's like 8 different
And
like,
one that hunts
locations.
you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And one that
exactly.
hunts you.
So that in and of itself, like, I can see how it could be totally maddening if you get to like the 6th or 7th boss and you're like, oh snap, you die. Like, oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are they gonna? The balancing on that is gonna be important
So
because
they do have.
oh wait, the bosses die as soon as the bosses die. It's over. I recall.
Okay,
I recall
okay.
now.
And they do have 2 lives.
What?
You can you can go back in time twice in one loop. So one loop has 2 lives.
Cool.
So it's not like you're dead and that's it. You get 2 chances per loop. And I
Gotcha.
think you have to unlock those. So at first you're going to
Fair.
be dying a lot, then you unlock those 2.
That makes sense.
So yeah, they did add in some balance mechanics.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what's going to go on with that game.
Yeah. So. All right. Oh yeah, but just stop throwing it in people's face over and over again. The same, like let people salivate a little bit. You know what I mean? It's gonna help you in the long run.
Well, I mean, it's just that people might not. Maybe it's they're looking at their numbers. They're looking
Yeah.
at pre-order numbers, and
Yeah.
they're just not seeing a lot of people interested in it, and they just like are trying to really
Yeah.
market the hell out of it. Because I mean, at the end of the day, if they only have one chance to market it before it comes out,
True.
so they're trying their best. So I can't completely blame them, but
Yeah.
yes, it's a little much.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the state of play. So we don't have much left, but let's kind of cover what we have left. The next story. How do you pronounce it? NIS or NIS?
NIS.
Okay.
It's Nipponichi Software.
Okay. NIS America increases price for 15 games on PC starting July 19th. So this was actually done by what's his name? The RPG guy on YouTube.
So it's a YouTuber that I really enjoy. His name is David Vink.
Yeah.
And he was talking about this is how I found out about
Yeah.
this. He was talking about how it's like maybe the way that these business practices might be going forward in terms of digital content,
Mm-hmm.
and that the pricing of digital content might fluctuate arbitrarily according to the publisher.
Okay.
This is an example of that,
Yeah.
in which NIS America has decided to update the prices to much higher prices than they currently stand at.
Yes.
So, in regards to the regular price for these items, like some of them are $9.99 regularly,
Yeah.
and now they have updated the prices, so it's $19.99 instead of $9.99. For
Yeah.
example, I think it's Criminal Girls.
Yeah.
And in that regard, when it comes to sales, the sale price will now be what was originally the original price.
Yes. So it's like a marketing.
So
scheme.
they're inflating
Yeah.
the prices on these games as they are regularly sold.
Yes.
And so keeping that whenever someone sees these games, let's just say someone that's not in the know,
Yeah.
that's like, hey,
This is 50% off.
not even 50%
Yeah.
off. Just look at it basic.
Yeah.
Just be like, oh, hey, this game, East 8.
Yeah.
I want that. I want to play it. Oh, let me see how much it costs physically.
Yeah.
And then you can see the prices on eBay and how insane that game is selling for.
So around $100, right?
And then you go to whatever digital marketplace you can get these at, and you see, okay, it's $19.99. I'll pull the trigger. I'll get it. But it was being sold at $9.99 previously.
Yeah.
And that's just an example. I'm not saying E8 was being
Yeah.
sold at $9.99. It's
Yeah.
just an example of like
Yeah.
what's going on. And NIS America, or NIS America, however you want to pronounce it, and or any other company for that matter can take advantage of that and be
Yeah.
like, okay, let's use another example. Maybe PlayStation. Suikoden 2.
Mhm.
It's being sold for $9.99 on the PlayStation 3 store. And they could have done this. They haven't.
Mhm.
But it's being sold physically for $100-something, $200-something.
Yeah.
Right now, I think it's $300 or $400 complete in box.
Yeah.
Depending on what version you or what condition you get it in. They're like, okay, well, instead of $9.99, let's sell it for $19.99 on the regular.
Yeah.
On the regular.
And they know that if you really want to play that game, you don't have a choice. You have to buy the digital because the physical is just too darn much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's no alternative.
Yeah.
And that's how companies can abuse their prices.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
It's
and
not.
the thing is that on the get-go, we wouldn't know the difference. But the fact that we've noticed this coming from NIS America and the price fluctuating like this, it does look dirty.
It looks
doesn't-
greedy.
Yeah,
It looks greedy. It doesn't look like it offers nothing to the
correct.
game. Yeah. You're just.
There's been no improvements.
Yeah. You're
It's
just
like
jacking up the price.
from here on out, this is the standard price.
Yeah.
And then when it does go on sale and it's selling for the regular price,
You're not
people
getting
won't know
a deal.
the difference.
Yeah.
You're not really getting a difference.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
not getting a deal because
Yeah.
they were accustomed to selling it at that price for
Yeah.
however long they were.
Yeah.
So it just sucks, and it shows the fluctuation
In the market.
Yeah, of the market.
Yeah. So let's let's just say this is not done yet, right? This is when is this happening? July 19th. So like look, in the video a lot he stated like he doesn't want to support this practice. And other people in the comments were like, I'm not going to support this practice. But if you really wanted one of these games, you probably get it now before the price increase. So yeah, the prices haven't been increased yet. So you still have a chance to get at these prices. But after that, I mean, you have to decide like, is it worth? Because like now we know when they release new games, are they jacking up the prices of those too? Like that they would normally would
Digitally speaking.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. And yeah, it offers nothing
Yeah,
to
no,
players.
no, no.
Yeah.
And it's funny because as physical supporters like we are,
Yeah.
it is like when it comes to digital games, I really do not purchase them unless they are on a very, very deep sale, or B, I really just want to support the
Or
publisher.
C, there is no physical version of the game. The
Yes.
only way you can play it is digital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in that regard, it's funny when I go to a used game store and be like, "Oh, look, I found this game and it is whatever sale price it is used." I don't have a good example,
Yeah.
but when you go to the digital storefront, it's full price
Yeah.
for how it would be MSRP.
Makes no sense.
Yeah,
Makes
no sense. So even then, digital games in general, because you're not having to publish it, you're not having to print it, they
Yeah.
should be cheaper.
Yes. Here's the savings that these game producers are making on digital versions is not being given back to the consumer, which completely flies it in the face against the free market principle theory, because the free market absolutists would say, no, when the producer is able to sell, the manufacturer is able to save money on production and it's in a competitive market, those savings are going to go back to the users, right?
Yes, exactly.
That's not true, people. Wake up. Realize that is not true. That is simply not true. If they can get away with not giving you any of the savings
And making more money?
they're going to do it. That's just the way it is. So that's why you can't buy into that whole philosophy. Some parts of it are true, but the profit sharing part That is not true. That simply is not true. So, all right. Next up. So this was the. I would argue this was one of the bigger stories of the week. Even though I really didn't care. The Switch OLED was announced. So let's be fair to this thing. So this is the new Switch. This is the Switch Pro that we've been talking about for months.
No, it isn't.
It's not, but it is what it is in a way that this is what they were talking about. This is what they were trying to, give us the scoop on. But the truth is, it's not a Switch Pro. It's just an iterative, small upgrade, right? So basically, what they're doing is they're improving the OLED screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is 720p, right?
Well, it's a new OLED screen.
Yeah.
It wasn't OLED before.
Yeah, but it's 720p, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. It's not even the highest resolution that the Switch offers. So it's an OLED screen. They're beautiful. They're nice.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not even. It's 720p. That's not even full HD. That's half HD.
No, that's trash. It's like 2013 all over again.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Hey,
That's a joke.
Look, the quality of OLED screens are such that you can get away with lower resolutions. But yeah, it's not even full HD, right? So no, that needs to be said. It's not even full HD. The dock is improved, right? There's like a flip panel on the back, which I could argue you could just tape one there to on yours if you wanted to. It's not. People are like, yeah, but they upgraded the dock. Like,
Yeah,
dude,
now
that
it looks like the
Yeah.
the stand for like the Surface.
that's already been solved. Everyone already. I already have a stand. Do you have a stand?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. Well,
Because I don't play it like that.
okay. I already have a stand. It's already been solved. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not an upgrade. The audio's been upgraded, right?
Enhanced audio.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
And then there's an Ethernet port, which
It's in the dock.
that is.
They removed a USB port and put an Ethernet port there instead
Yeah.
because the Ethernet like dongle was an extra
Yeah.
for the current switches.
Yeah. So that's not even an upgrade because
no one cares because no one hardwires their Switch
yeah.
unless of course you're like a Smash Pro.
Yeah.
Like,
But
dude
they
that
already
needs-
bought the dongle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So that's not even an upgrade either. So what we're looking at is a version of the Switch solely targeted towards handheld users.
Which is funny because a lot of the footage within the OLED reveal
Yeah.
was docked.
Yeah. Yeah. So this this upgrade is only the way I see it only for people that play their Switch mobile.
Yes.
There's nothing for docked.
Portable,
Yeah, there's nothing for docked. There's nothing really for docked players. Docked players, they keep it docked. They hook it up to their TV. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's how you and me play the Switch.
That me. Yep.
Yep. So that being said, let's look at this article here because this is interesting. So Digital Foundry, they said that the Switch OLED dev kit has 8 gigabytes of RAM. The dev unit for the regular Switch is 6 gigabytes. All retail units will have 4 gigabytes. So what they're saying is, why are they making the dev kit have double the RAM of what is going to be accessible by the actual developers in the production units, right? So the question is, do they need that for something? And
They just want to show off.
but it's like Modern Vintage Gamer brought this up. One of the cheapest upgrades they could have done to this game or the Switch is just add more RAM. That could have been one of the simplest, cheapest upgrades.
And that would have helped with the performance.
That would have helped a lot with the performance. So forget.
I mean, I'm not even playing Age of Calamity yet because, from what I understand, it chugs.
Yeah.
I'd rather play the game when it's like prepared to be played or plays well. Like I haven't played Cyberpunk 2077 yet.
Yeah. Because of performance issues.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. So like, I'm not saying that I'm not going to play games on my Switch anymore, but I really was hoping that they would bring out a substantial revision to this console, which they have not yet. And honestly, games that are coming out currently aren't performing as well as they should.
No. Basically, what they're neglecting here is third-party developers. And even they're neglecting even their in-house developers because, like you said, how much resources is a game like Breath of the Wild 2 gonna need?
Exactly.
You know?
I mean, like I said, I think I said it when we spoke about E3. Like the fact that Breath of the Wild 2 isn't going to come out until 2022, I was like, that's probably when the revision's going to hit.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, it's just it's short-sighted, but really, it's par for the course for Nintendo. Because this is how a lot of their upgrades have been. You know?
True.
Very lackluster. Yeah. So there you have it. The developer kit is amazing, and it's probably better to play games on the developer kit.
I'm about to say, I was like, we should probably just
create a
pony up
developer
and
account.
buy a developer kit.
Yeah.
Those go for like thousands of dollars.
I know they're expensive. So yeah, there you have it. All right. My Summer Vacation by the makers of. I'm sorry, I don't have a mouse pad. It's so hard. By the makers of Attack of the Friday Monsters is getting an English translation. So, for those of you that don't know, this is a very interesting game. The premise of the game is you're like a kid, and you're in the Japanese countryside during the summer.
Yes.
And you go exploring, and you solve like little puzzles, and you eat dinner with your family, and it's very quaint. And it's a cult classic in Japan, but the U.S. never got a release. And
classic.
It's, you know what it's like?
What?
It's like, it's kind of like Animal Crossing in a way, where it's a game designed to just make you calm and relaxed. It's a very relaxing game.
Yes.
So this user, Samuel Mesner, I'm translating Boku no actual Natsuyasumi, English title My Summer Vacation. This is a legendary classic, and the lack of a way for English speakers to play it has plagued the world for too long. I hope you enjoy the virtual Japanese 70s countryside. So he's going to start this, and I assume the modding community is going to help him patch the game and put up a version for people to play. So this is very exciting. The game is if you look at a game like this, which is a PlayStation 1 title.
Looks nice, though.
It looks very nice. And
then again, I'm a sucker for old graphics anyway.
Yeah. But it's the way that they
presented.
Yes, they have like a nice painted background. You know what I mean? It gets over the limitations of the technology. Only the characters are polygonal. But the background is all scenic. You know what I mean? So it's very nice.
Nice.
So when I found out about this, because I went through a rabbit hole where I showed you
the 3 different versions.
Yeah, I sent Josie a video of the gameplay. I was like, dude, have you ever heard of this game? And there's actually one on the PS3. That's the newest version.
Yes.
It looks very nice for a PS3 game. So yeah, they're translating the original PlayStation version. So I'm excited about that. Next up. TIE Fighter has been remade with more modern visuals. So TIE Fighter is like a classic Star Wars game where it's actually very technical in how you can fly your ship and do combat.
I've never played it.
Okay.
Have you?
No. Oh yeah. No, I have. But wasn't there like an arcade version?
There was Star Wars Arcade.
Yeah,
but
I played that.
Okay.
No. You know what? I did play TIE Fighter.
Okay.
I had it on PC, I believe. I had a lot of the Star Wars games on PCs. So here's the thing. Star Wars Squadrons came out from EA. People didn't like it because they said that the combat was too shallow. The gameplay was too shallow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it didn't do as good as I thought it would do. People just got bored by it. So what happened was somebody took the original TIE Fighter and they totally redid the graphics. It says the soundtrack has also been remastered. Proper widescreen resolutions are available, and there's VR support as well. That's insane.
That is insane.
So
for such an old game. Too.
Yeah. The game itself on Steam is less than 500 megabytes. The mod kit is 10 gigs. So
that's really cool.
Yeah. So I have a good friend. He watches the show. Shout out Akuma Kornikova. He bought it the other night and he downloaded the mod kit. He hasn't played it yet.
Oh, dang.
But
I thought you were going to say he played it.
Well, I asked him this morning. I was like, dude, how is it? You know, because I'm going to cover it on the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to see what he says about it. But
would you get it?
Yeah, I would totally get it because the game is like $7 or something on Steam.
You got to review it with the VR. Don't you have an Oculus?
I have an Oculus. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for this week, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the show. Maybe in a couple weeks I might have to take off because I'm moving soon.
Yes.
But I can't wait to set up the new studio. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah, thank you. Take care and keep on gaming.
Keep on gaming. Hey everyone, thanks for listening to this episode of Games I Speak. If you liked the episode, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you all next time.